All right, folks, today on Free Field Training, we are looking at the Guardian Angel devices. This is additional warning that you can have on your shoulder when you're at work, either as a police officer, security guard, firefighter, tow truck driver, anybody that ends up with their butt sticking out in traffic where they might get run over or having to work big public events. This is an awesome way to have additional active warning on top of a reflective vest, or if you manage to forget your reflective vest in the car because you get caught up in a call. So I'm going to take you in really close here and explain some things about Guardian Angel devices and why I like them. If you want more info, there's a link down in the description and a coupon code so you can get a free accessory with them. So let me zoom you in here and we'll talk a bit more about the devices. So this is the Guardian Angel device. It mounts up on your shoulder, as you see here, using this little magnetic mounting plate. This plate goes under the shoulder strap of your body armor. It works with both concealed armor and with vest covers. I use this under the shoulder strap of my vest, and even with the neoprene shoulder strap and then my vest cover and the epaulette over the top, I can still pop the Guardian Angel device on. It's two magnets, and they're pretty strong. One on the bottom, one on the top. When they come together, you can hear the force with which it attaches. There's a bunch of other clips that allow you to mount this a bunch of other places, but we're going to talk about mounting it up on your shoulder first. The idea behind this and having additional warning is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of reflective vests. You've seen those in videos before, why you should put a reflective and high-vis vest on when you're working out in any type of roadway. What this allows you to have is active warning. So you can push the button on the top and you get warning pretty much 360 degrees and on top. Most of the time when you're working in traffic though, this isn't all necessary. What I like to do is if I'm getting out of the car, even on a traffic stop or something where I normally wouldn't put my reflective vest on, I can push just the back button on this red and blue Guardian Angel device and I get just red and blue flashing light behind me. And because it's behind me, I don't blind myself and I'm not giving myself away the same way I would be if it was front and back, if we only had the option of front and back. I really like that, especially for directing traffic. I can put my reflective vest on and this will still pop on and magnet mount through the reflective vest, through the epaulette on my uniform, through the external carrier, and through the neoprene strap on my vest. Hold onto my shoulder and give me active warning for when I'm out working a motor vehicle collision. Now, if you're working a public event, you can turn them on front and back and have warning all around. But the really cool thing about this is using it for the purpose that I don't think it was originally intended for. And that is being able to do paperwork, look at IDs, anytime you need light, but you don't want to have one of your hands filled with a flashlight, which is a regular problem out in patrol. On the red and blue version of this, there's a little button in the front, and you push it and you get a red light, just enough to be able to read an ID up by your shoulder so that you can read an ID and have another hand free so you're not using your weapon hand to read the ID or putting the flashlight underneath your armpit or all those types of extra techniques that we need. Or you can push it and you get the 4 front LEDs, which is enough to kind of search around inside of a car, or if you're on a search warrant and you're looking in a closet, you can push the button and be able to use both hands so you're not gunking up a hand and then using the flashlight and gunking up the other hand using the flashlight. Only between flashlight and moving things. You can just turn a light on and have a light on. Obviously, we wouldn't use this type of thing in a situation that we thought was dangerous, where we thought someone might be shooting at us or would be getting in some sort of scrap with somebody, or doing a house search. But once the situation's under control and we want to be able to use both hands without getting gunk on our fingers and then transferring it to our flashlight, it's nice to be able to just push that button and have light instantaneously. The red and blue version of this is great for big public events because people can see it's the police. You can turn the front and the back lights on, mount it to your shoulder, and you get 360 degree coverage and people can easily see, oh, that's the police over there if they need help or they need information. What's really great with these, though, isn't the red and blue one. The red and blue one would be great if you're going to work a bunch of public events, but for out on patrol, and for most purposes, I think there's a really good argument to be made that the red and white Guardian Angels devices would be more utilitarian for more people. So we're going to take a real quick look at that. This one works the same way, except it's red in the back and white in the front. And because you have it on a shoulder mounting plate, when the mounting plate stays still and it's just magnet mounted on, you can turn this around. When I push the rear button or the front button, I get just solid red or solid white the first time I press it. so I can pick which color I want forward, and I could have white light in the front and a lot of it, enough to easily search by, or red light in the front of me, a lot of it, enough to easily search by or do paperwork by. The second time I push each of these buttons, they flash, so I could get flashing light in all directions if I still want to. Lights up and down. So if I push it solid on, I can turn it all the way down to where it's a low priority lighting and not very bright, to a medium, to high. Now, I originally thought that they had this option to save battery life, but what I found out when I tested this is I turned the red and blue light on and I stuck it to the prisoner shield in my car, which is metal, and I left it there. And 8 hours later, it was still running at full blast. And 12 hours later, it was still running at full blast. And when I went home and put it on my shelf, it finally dipped down to the lower intensity levels after 14 hours of being on. If you watch me on Instagram, you've seen that test done pretty much live. 14 hours this runs. And when it dies and you need to recharge it, it's super, super simple. It's a USB recharge, but it's 100% waterproof. And the way they do that is there's a little metal door over the USB. You put a handcuff key or something similar under here to pop it open. You can't get it open with just a fingernail. You pop it open and you charge it with a USB all the way down inside of there. So if you're anywhere near a car, you can recharge this. And when you pop it back down, completely waterproof. I've had no problems with water ingress. I dunked this in a 5-gallon bucket of water, did a bunch of drop tests with it. It seems to be really, really, really durable. Not that you have a huge problem with this falling off your shoulder, because the only time this ever fell off my shoulder was when I grabbed one of the paramedics' bags and tossed it over my shoulder and like forced it off of my shoulder. It's never just fallen off on my own. Even my seatbelt doesn't get caught up with it or anything like that. It stays on really, really tight. This magnetic mount, even just one magnet, is really, really strong. And when you get two of them back to back, you can see I'm a good 2 inches away and I just let go and it pops back on there. There's options for other mounting points. The one I really suggest is this little metallic clip. The little metallic clip allows you to mount the device onto it, and then you can clip this on anything you can clip something to. So you put it to a baseball cap or mount it to, the sun visor on your car. What I've seen people use it for is they'll mount this clip to the leather strap on their radio for fire departments, and then they can have the device clipped on with their radio. So they put their radio on, they've got their warning light, they've got their radio, they've got their knife and their pen light and everything all in one assembly to put it on. Pretty cool little option. An ancillary thing that I haven't used it for because I don't do bicycle patrol or a lot of bicycle work is that the red and white one, which is the one I would suggest most people get if they're in some type of public safety industry, can work, at least in my state. It covers everything you need for bike lighting. So you can mount this to a helmet. You have white light in the front, red light in the back. It works as your bike light. And with 14 hours of runtime, there's really no downside to using this as your bike light. And it's pretty durable and waterproof. You don't have problems that you'd have with a cheaper bike light. And being able to mount it on with either the clip, there's a strap mount, and there's a suction cup mount, and all of the ones that aren't the shoulder have screws in there. I'll show you that. There's little screws inside, and you can screw the device on so it stays permanently affixed on there and it won't come off when you're mounting it to some type of vehicle, in case you want to mount this to an ATV or a bike or something like that. So, Guardian Angel's devices, I highly recommend them. If you're a firefighter, a security guard, a cop, you're a tow truck driver, and you need just a little bit of extra warning, especially when it's nasty outside, or in addition to your reflective vest, or if you're looking to do big public events and you want people to see where the police are at or where security's at, so it's super simple, stupid, easy for the public to find you, these are a great option. They cost $100 with one accessory, the shoulder clip. Other accessories cost extra, but if you use the coupon code that's down below, you can get one of these accessories free, which is pretty cool for everybody involved. So that's the Guardian Angel's device. You got any questions? Put them down in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Till next week, you guys be safe and take care of each other. Hey, thanks for watching Free Field Training on YouTube. While you're here, why don't you go check out one of our other videos, or you can head on over to the Patreon and see how you can get your name put on the videos like these fine folks listed over here. There's also some exclusive content on Patreon that just shows you kind of behind the scenes, like you're seeing now. We'll see you guys next time.